Okay, Suge did an interview and he talked about his recollection of what happened at the Soul Train Awards. And there are a couple things he said that I want to throw out there and then get your response to what you think about. But I'll go ahead and say them up front. So one of them was that he said that all the award shows are fake, that all the awards are pretty much purchased. And then he kind of insinuated that he did that for Snoop Dogg's Best New Artist Award. But when it came down to Tupac and Suge confronting, the whole Biggie situation, he said that the police were waiting on them when they arrived. And he also went on to say that the LAPD pulled a gun on Keffe D. I just wanted to get your response to his recount of what happened at the Soul Train Awards.
Yeah. Well, just right quick, on the LAPD part, he's talking about when they got chased down. They took off and ran, and I always told y'all that they got detained at the gate, and the police took them in custody. We always start whatever happened to that when, the guys that got arrested or detained after they took off and ran, why they never went to jail or what happened to that. Now, as we all learned, one of Reggie's biggest mistakes, right? And I went on it and acquiesced to about 2 years ago. I said it was Keffe D that pointed the gun. It was a guy by the name of C. Gutter or something like that was with Tupac and them, not Tupac, with Biggie and them that said he was the one that brandished the gun. Like I said, they ain't never pointed a gun yet. But he said they the ones that brandished the weapon and they took off and ran. I'll have to go and say, okay. And I have backtracked and been saying C. Gutter since then, from learning that from Big G.
Reggie, ever since the city situation happened and we've been covering it ongoing, it reminds me how important it is to have a good lawyer on your team. That's why I'm glad to bring to you Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. They have over 1,000 attorneys operating in all 50 states, and when you are seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions. Morgan & Morgan don't settle for the lowball offers. They fight for every dollar you deserve if you become their client. Just recently, they achieved some significant verdicts for their clients, $12 million in Florida, 34 times the highest insurance offer, and $26 million in Philadelphia, which is over 40 times the highest insurance offer. With Morgan & Morgan, there's no upfront costs and the fee is absolutely free unless you win. And it only takes a few minutes to see if you have a case. If you've ever been seriously injured, your case can be worth millions, and you're only a few clicks away from finding out if you could change your life. It's easy to start your claim now. You can visit forthepeople.com/bomb, or you can scan the QR code with your phone's camera in the corner.
But the one thing that I found that was funny, everybody was saying, oh, Gene Deal told us this story. Gene Deal. No, when Gene first came on the scene and was telling the story, he said Puffy ain't ran and got up under no car like Reggie told y'all that happened. I had Puffy. He was with me. I put him in a hole and had him right there. Then later, after I kept being insistent on it, he then started, and he got mad at him and said, Diddy ran or Puffy ran or whatever. But he still haven't said he got up underneath the car, like I said. But that's what he's talking about there. It was me and Tupac that, me that pointed the gun and Tupac behind me saying, hey, shoot him, Red, shoot him. That's how that went down. So for those of y'all got confused, that's what Suge was talking about when he said Keffe D and them ran. He probably thought that because the whole time we thought it was Keffe D. Only reason I stopped saying Keffe D was because Big Gene and then the guy himself said it was them that brandished the gun. Okay, so that ain't no big thing. We know that happened. As far as about the award shows is fake. Y'all don't remember me telling y'all that Don Cornelius told them because Suge was mad because they wanted to open the show. And Suge wasn't coming. And that's when Don Cornelius was like, young man, come, make sure I got a special surprise for you. I got a special surprise for you. And that's when Tupac won Best Artist for Me Against the World. That was the special surprise. So that's why Suge believed that the award shows is fake or not fake or whatever. Because he knew that Don Cornelius had pretty much told him, you're going to win. just come. Just make sure you show up. And that's why he went on and brought Tupac to that particular war show, even though they never went on the stage. Tupac and Suge just walked around the auditorium. Everybody in there was yelling, Tupac, Tupac. And they walked out. So that's what he means by it's fake. He messed up and said it wasn't the Source of Wars. There's some other war. I think he said the Soul Train of War when Snoop beat, he said somebody else, another artist. I forget who it was. But the one that I was surprised that he had beat and that Snoop was always surprised was proud of beating was actually Garth Brooks. And so that was at the American Music Awards for, I think, 1994, 1994 or something like that, when Snoop beat out Garth Brooks. So I think that was the one that he just misspoke. We all misspeak, and that he was proud of winning. But he didn't buy out Bill. What was that guy named Bill? Not Bill. Oh, man, I can't even think of Dick Clark. He didn't buy out Dick Clark, y'all. But Snoop did beat him for that award show. I mean, beat him for that year for Best Artist of the Year. Okay, thank you. Other questions? So we talked about Diddy running. We talked about the gun. We talked about it's fake. And so I think that was any one of your other questions I didn't address, John?
No, the only thing he said was that the LAPD was there.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't say LAPD. He said the police.
No, it was LAPD. They did. They detained them at the gate when they ran off. But it wasn't LAPD that was working. Now, the part that he's talking about, what the LAPD was notified or was on site, it wasn't no active LAPD or on duty LAPD cops. That's where the Judas. Y'all remember where the new word that came up from? Where he called me Judas? When I told y'all, Reggie, I admit, sometimes I save them from doing shit that is too stupid. I'll be the first to admit it. And he knows what I'm talking about because that's why he knows to talk about it. He don't listen to YouTube. He know because I told him. I call this dude named, coincidental or not, Keith Davis from the neighborhood. He lived right on the corner of Bradfield and Diane. His daddy was a deputy chief for LAPD, Julius Davis. I call, his son ran a security company that had the contract at the location for the thing. Me and Keith grew up right around the corner from each other. Great friends. He ended up retiring just recently as a captain from LAPD. And I called Keith ahead of time and like, hey, Keith, don't let all those niggas wearing that T-shirt, those burgundy T-shirts into that place at once. I didn't say don't let them in at all. I'm just saying as a group. I said, because they coming up there to cause havoc. Because the plan was to run up on the stage and pull Biggie fat ass off the stage while he was performing. Thank God, because they all got in. They all got in through the front gate. They couldn't go in through the back gate. But thank God that Biggie and them, or that we were all late, because who knows where we will all be. If we all just be now getting out of somebody's state penitentiary. Because their plan was to go and pull Biggie off that stage, and who knows what would have happened if 50 to 80 guys, and Suge always say 80, it was about 50, to be honest, would have ran up on that stage and pulled Biggie off that stage and stumped him out. Could y'all imagine what would have happened to Biggie and their crew if that would have happened, and how bad of a black eye that would have been on hip-hop? So yeah, Reggie was Judas that day. Reggie played both sides of the fence that day, whatever y'all want to call it. And I told him, don't let them all in the group. Let them in twos or threes, because they got tickets. So that's what he's talking about. But Suge ain't never, why all these things that I'm supposed to allegedly do comes out, Reggie tells him. But then he was the one left in charge after he went down from 97 to 2002. But in y'all words, in y'all eyes today, I was saying, no, Suge knew Reggie was the voice of reason. Reggie was only 28 years old at the time. But I was the adult in the room at the time when it came to stuff like that. That was my job, to protect Suge from jail and prison. People always talk about the phone calls of threatening Frank and all of that. I wish some channel would go and play those things. Because if that's a threat to y'all, what I said on the phone, you motherfuckers would hate to talk to me daily. But that's what y'all call a threat. Telling you where you and your little white girl where y'all gonna go if you don't come to court and testify and do your job. That's how Reggie talk. But I know I'm the buster and all of that. No, I just talk a lot of shit. Because I done been around things. I know how to get stuff done. But I also ain't gonna let nothing stupid happen. Peace bomb first.